Always remember.
Hello there, General Kenobi. Say it back, and welcome back to Determined Focus. This is episode 28. I am happy to be spending another Monday with all of you of Focus Squadron and my co-host Grayson. Grayson, you had a pretty busy week last week.
Dude, this entire month is so busy. Yeah, no, I did have a busy week, but it's nice to be. Weirdly enough, I think with everything that I have going on, we'll still be able to do an episode pretty regularly throughout the month.
Right.
Maybe one day it'll be on a Tuesday, but yeah, it is nice to be in the regular setup.
Yeah.
And with you, my lovely Focus leader. I love you.
Hey, everybody. What?
Say I know. Say I know.
What? General Kenobi. What? That's what I'm supposed to say, right? General Kenobi.
Yeah, say it back.
Dewanawanga. Last week you specifically got to see something extremely cool that I'm going to use as a segue into our topic today, which, if you saw the thumbnail, we are speaking about Adam Christopher's new novel that is coming out in November 11th.
Yes.
Is that the release date?
Yeah. 14 years after Skyrim. Shout out Elder Scrolls fans.
Oh boy.
Yes, November 11th, 2025. Master of Evil by Adam Christopher is dropping, and that's what most of the stream is going to be about. But yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be talking about that. But if you would like to briefly talk about what you saw last week, because one of the things that you saw actually sold for quite a pretty penny.
Oh, yes. Dude. Sorry. Yeah. My week is. I was like, what did I see? Yeah.
A pretty big deal weapon involved with the topic today, and just Star Wars in general.
Yeah. Well. A long time ago, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Like 4 days ago in this very galaxy, I got to shout out Layla, Stardust Layla. She was the one that kind of orchestrated all of this, but she invited me as a +1 to the kind of like final gathering for Prop Store, which I'm sure Prop Store.
Oh, right, you're right.
Yeah.
Meow.
Anyway, and of course, if you've been following pretty much any of the big Star Wars creators, you'll know that this has been kind of an ongoing process. They've been kind of promoting this for a while, and so I never got to go to this, but Layla kindly invited me, and we were able to like work something out to where I was able to fly out there, and so yeah, I got to go to Prop Store's kind of. I don't know what the official title was, but it was kind of like a banquet event. And the big ticket item, which did indeed sell for just over $3 million. It was $2.9 million, but with including all the fees and everything, I believe it was around $3.3 million. Was Darth Vader's screen matched lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Okay. I saw it in the flesh. It was behind a glass case because it should be, because it belongs in a museum, or now it's somebody else owns it.
In a museum.
Which there was some indie stuff in there too, which was really sick. Of course, the Spider-Man 2 costume, that was pretty sick too. But yeah, that was crazy cool. They did a full presentation. The COO, Brandon, he did a full presentation on it. Oh shoot. I had a pamphlet that I left in California that I could have shown on stream. That it's still, I can get it back. Don't worry. But it had a full just 12 to 14 page spread on everything from X-rays to they were mashing it with stills to see the dents and the scratches to figure out because
That's sick.
Really cool stuff. It was a full magazine. And yeah, I was blown away, the details that they picked up to try to figure out what it had been used in, and that was where they determined. That's why they said screen match, is because they were able to screen match it to these particular prop.
That's so
used
sick,
in Empire. It's really cool because for people who don't know with lightsabers, they use different ones throughout the movies. In fact, there was actually 3 more hilts there. That were not as high profile, but they had 2 stunt sabers from Revenge of the Sith. They had Obi-Wan and Anakin stunt hilts with the poles still in them, by the way. That they used, and they were like the Anakin one had a choke point on the neck so that Hayden could spin it better. The Obi-Wan didn't have the box on it. I have some pictures of that. I should have, before the stream we were like, oh, do we have anything to show? I should have shown that. I have pictures of them. And I actually was able to get an interview with Brandon as well, which that should be coming out very, very soon. He was very, very gracious to be able to talk to him and kind of about those items.
Yeah.
But then there was also, well, I don't know if I showed you. Did I show you the other saber?
What?
Did I not show you the Vader? So I showed you the Vader, and then there was the 2 stunt, the Anakin and Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith. Did I not show you the other one? Why don't I just?
I'm trying to remember. You sent me a bunch of photos.
Why don't I just send it to you right now, and you can just pull it up for stream for people, because it's kind of our whole brand.
It was above Obi-Wan and Anakin's. It was Qui-Gon's saber, right?
It was indeed Qui-Gon Jinn's.
So sick, dude.
I'm sending the picture of the Vader and the Qui-Gon right now to you.
What the heck is the best way to pull up that? Probably Instagram.
I sent it to you on Instagram. Did I even
Yeah.
I know I got a picture of the Qui-Gon. I'll text it to you right now. Guys, we're prepared, I swear.
Yeah. While you do that, that'll get pulled up. We got a bunch of people in here. We are currently live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Bird app itself. We got a bunch of people in here, and we got a bunch of new members, official members of Focus Base. Welcome to
go.
So everybody is a member of Focus Squadron, right? If you are here, you are currently a member of Focus Squadron, the best star pilots in the galaxy and good friends. However, if you become a member, you are officially a member of Focus Base. You are now granted access into Focus Base for a bunch of cool stuff on YouTube as a YouTube member. Currently, we got Cole in here, who is currently a member. Can't bring it up with StreamYards because StreamYards stinks, but the Qui-Gon emoji is up there on YouTube. MacMan just became a member. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member, dude. Appreciate you. Downcost Bug is a YouTube member with the Schmitty Wergman Jaegerman Jensen profile picture. That's crazy. Appreciate you. And I don't know where it went, but I know Limitless Nerd has also
probably right here.
Oh, why did I not see that?
I've got the power.
Yeah.
It's earlier today.
Yeah, very cool. So we got some new members for Focus Base.
Is that 4 members currently?
I think we're at 4.
4, dude. That's crazy because last week we had 0.
Yep, we're at 4. So get ready,
thank y'all,
because there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff that we got loaded up for members only. And this is actually the first time Grayson is hearing about this, but I am working out a way, kind of like Grayson's hat, which is the official insignia of Focus Squadron. I'm working out a way to do specific links for people when they enter, where it's a members only shirt.
Yeah.
So you can only get that specific Focus Squadron shirt to rep as an official member of Focus Squadron. You wear it in your daily life. You wear it to the gym. You wear it to Mos Eisley Cantina. But I'm working out a way. So that'll be up hopefully soon. But I was doing some research on that to get that
also
done.
speaking of shirts, shout out to Luke for wearing his Determined Focus shirt in his video today.
In like 6 videos.
Yeah. Was it 6 videos? I only saw one of them.
No, every time I would like, oh, Luke posted the video, he would turn around and be like, Determined Focus. And then he posted that thing with Mon Mothma, Determined Focus. So that's Focus. He's Focus 2? He's Focus, yeah.
He is absolutely Focus 2. He is right there at the top. Honorary of Focus base.
Official.
He also asked how much the other sabers went for. The Qui-Gon, I don't remember. The Anakin and Obi, I think they were like estimated around like 10K a piece. So I don't exactly remember. I don't know if they definitely have sold. I wonder if I could go to Prop Store's website to see what they fully sold for. Because I was like watching throughout the day to like see, like Layla and I were in Galaxy's Edge when what do you call it? When the Vader one sold.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. Hey, there's Brandon right there. Okay, just sold. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can flip through. They sold a lot of stuff, dude. Like, can I search? Oh, search all the prop Star Wars.
While Grayson is searching that up to look it up, Cole, Macman, Limitless Nerd, and Downcast Bug, extremely cool looking in YouTube chat specifically because now next to their names they have the Focus insignia next to them as members, which is super sick.
Don't we
also
also
a bunch of emojis and stuff in there? But
that's
it's cool.
sick. Don't they have like a tenure as well? Like as time goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as time goes on, as you are a continuous member of Focus Base, your insignia changes to there's a silver, there's a Beskar, there's a couple of our favorite character versions in there. There's some exclusive ones that the longer you get to be a part of Focus Base, the cooler your insignia gets. But if you are just joining, you get the official tissue, the black, gold, and red, which is my personal favorite, and the actual colors of the base. So there you
go. Okay, they have it all dissected to. Do they have Shadows of the Empire stuff on here? I'm telling you, dude. They have
what?
They have they have like a full filter of like everything you get Star Wars. So I'm looking for.
What would they be selling from Shadows of the Empire?
I don't know, but I just went to Revenge of the Sith because they have some stuff that are like replicas. But yeah, I can pull up the Shadows of the Empire thing in a second. Okay, okay, I found the Obi-Wan. This login to see sold price. Ah, dang it. I don't know. So I don't have an account with Prop Store right now. But yeah, it still has the green like pole in it, which is sick. And then this, yeah, I found the Anakin one as well. The Anakin one had like a red blade, but it had that choke point on the emitter, which was really sick. So that way Hayden could spin it easier. But yeah, really cool stuff. Of course, there was like a rubber Return of the Jedi TK helmet that they used for the combat scenes. They had some of the alien hands, like Greedo and like Figrin Dan. So cool. Yeah, of course. The Indy stuff, they had the Sankara Stone and Indy's whip from Last Crusade, and they had just brought in that day the cart from Last Crusade with the side buggy with Sean Connery's suit and Harrison's suit from I took a picture of it, and it was one of the first things when you walked in because it's set at the it's a famous car museum in LA.
Jay Leno's house.
No. But it was down there, and I was like, bro, this is the actual motorcycle with the side buggy from last year. It's crazy.
That's so sick.
So yeah, I mean, truly I got to witness Star Wars history and a prized possession of Darth Vader himself.
Yeah. Probably should have mentioned that we have a celebrity in the chat. Hannah's here.
Hey, What's
You're
up,
already
Hannah?
following. Go follow at the Rayside, please, and thank you. Go subscribe. Go follow. Go listen to her make funny Star Wars noises. She's the best in the world, as well
Low-key,
as just Australia.
Low-key, she probably, like, once we get her on the show, she might as well be honorary Focus 3 at that point.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Pac-Man's here. We got Chris in the chat. Dude, there's a bunch of the homies in here. Obviously, Luke is here.
24 people right now.
Dude, Blue Mamba's here. What's up, dude?
What's up? Yo, Carter, we're going to talk about it later, but get to work on that Tava Ren sound font. I'm going to need that right now. Thank you. Dude, I can't. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show, but the good comic is so good, bro.
Yeah. Oh, and Andrew's here. What's up, dude? With the Soups profile.
I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am.
Oh, we just got demonetized.
I am Iggy Pop.
You did it so well. We got demonetized. And as always, Skywalking Ryan is here.
Dude,
thanks.
I get to see him this weekend at Legacy Expo.
Whoa!
Which, by the way, if you're going to be at Legacy Expo, please say hello. If you're in the California area and you somehow watch our stuff, I will be there like repeatedly. Like I will be there 18 days out of this month. So
Grayson is already 1 down out of 4 times, but I will only be there 25% of those. So we'll see you at the end of the month in LA too.
Yeah. LA Comic-Con, if you want to see us both together. Yeah. Dude, your friend drew that? That is awesome. That is amazing.
That's sick.
That looks really good.
That's really cool. Should we start talking about what we're talking about?
Yes, we should. For people who are just joining now, obviously this is not new information, but we are talking a little bit or a lot of it about Master of Evil that comes out this fall into winter, November 11th, written by Adam Christopher, who, if you don't know, wrote this book right here, Shadow of the Sith. That was his first Star Wars novel, and he is back with a Vader story set in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And we're here to kind of connect the dots, decipher what's going on.
Yeah. Let's get into it. We gotta get hyped,
bro. Dude, okay, I know you're not a big like Star Wars horror guy or like horror guy in general. That was gas.
I found the music and I was like, Grayson's really gonna like this.
That is the VB, the saver, bro. This guy only cooks, bro. This guy only cooks.
I don't know, but we're trying to be an official tissue show if we're gonna have at least 4 members. Once we get to 5, we're gonna have to really pump a budget into those bumpers, dude. That's what it's just, all the money's going to the bumpers. That's pretty much all it is.
I can only imagine when you have a funding of what they'll be like, because right now they're incredible. Oh, by the way, Chris said the Peterson Museum. He is right. That is the car place. But yeah, so we've assembled kind of a whole bunch of official information, then also just kind of some speculation and stuff for Master of Evil. So I'm gonna just kind of run through some bullet points, and then we have some more official articles, if that's okay with you, to kind of dissect it.
What's right?
So the important details, like I said, it's set in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. That's kind of the broad area for Vader content, of course. The book is titled after Obi-Wan Kenobi's famous line, "Only a Master of Evil doth." The code name, apparently, I found this out on the Wikipedia page, was Nauset Lighthouse, which I don't know what that means, but it's very cool. Of course, written by Adam Christopher, November 11th release date. It is, simply put, Vader looking to conquer death itself.
Yep.
And there is some stuff that we will talk about in a little bit with some official excerpts that kind of allude to maybe what's going on. And it allegedly is going to be filling in some gaps from, I have it here because I am a man of props, Charles Soule's Darth Vader run, which is 25 issues and is phenomenal. So I'm just going to go ahead and say off the rip, before you read this book, read this run. You can book through it in like a day or two. It's awesome. Your comic book shop should have it. But yes, Adam Christopher has said that it's going to be filling in a specific time gap in the run, because the Soul Vader run takes place from 19 BBY, which is right after Revenge of the Sith, all the way up to 12 BBY, roughly. So about 7 years.
Should I read the quote? Because the quote's kind of hype.
Of course, you should.
This period is covered very well in Charles Soule's Marvel comic, except there are gaps in the comics. And there is a particular gap in the comic that I don't think Charles or even Marvel know about, which is interesting.
Yeah. My speculation before I rattle off these last three like kind of quick points is that it is surmised that the Vader run is kind of split into like 3 or 4 major arcs. The beginning is him getting his saber, which is kind of like right after Revenge of the Sith. Then there's kind of a small like little interim arc where he's like fighting Jocasta Nu, and then it's kind of like a little like a 2-issue like Imperial like traitor intrigue thing. Then it goes to the invasion of Mon Cala, which I believe is there's a little bit of a time jump there, and then the big time jump is from the last 3 issues, which is when Fortress Vader is built, and that is in 12 BBY. I did some research last night. This is based on some official articles and, of course, Star Wars timelines. I think they said that Vader's fortress was built like 40-something years before a certain point, so that puts it at 12 BBY, roughly. So, yeah, it's
going to get retconned to being built in 9 ABY.
If you know, you know. We might have to make some merch about 9 ABY at this point.
Yeah, I know.
I love how that episode wasn't even on our show. That was on Hannah's. So
and people still know about it for some reason being in here. They know about it because they're all watching Hannah, which is rightfully the way it should be happening.
If you're watching us, you should be watching Hannah. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems to be. But see, I had also heard as well that it was going to be taking place also right before A New Hope.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be some kind of jumping forward in time and back, which, you know, with Shadow of the Sith, granted, you have read all of it. I have not read all of it.
Yes.
Although I love it. There is some time jumping in that book as well. So it makes sense.
The book does, or at least not the book, the description for the book on StarWars.com when it was released, and it was like either the day before or the day after, or just like it was one of the days right around Star Wars Celebration Japan this year. That official description does say what you said about A New Hope in it. So like that's official in there.
Okay, well then that plays into some of the supplemental material. By the way, just wanted to say, hey Carly, sorry, hey. General Kenobi, say it back. That's our thing.
Sorry, we messed up our own thing.
We're done.
Yep. Okay.
So I already talked about the Soul Run, which I believe is going to be the most important thing that you should be reading before this novel. That being said, the other big thing, which is a little less accessible, but if you've got YouTube, you could probably just watch the whole thing, is Vader Immortal, which is a VR story that came out in 2019. It is 3 episodes. If you have a way to play it, if you have a MetaQuest or any other VR system, you should be able to play it on there. It's really fun. But the big thing about that story is, first, it takes place 1 BBY. I did not know this. So it is in the heart of Fortress Vader. You are on Mustafar like the entire time.
I only know about this game from what you have briefly spoken to me about, but I barely know anything about it. This is a completely new Star Wars story for me.
So it came out right before Rise of Skywalker. And do you remember, you know how in Rise of Skywalker, Mustafar looks a lot different. There's like trees, and it's like Vader Immortal is the reason why. You play as kind of this nobody, like you don't talk or anything, but you end up being a descendant of Lord Corvax, who was this ancient, Force-sensitive Mustafarian royalty, right? And when this whole like cataclysm happens, Mustafar turns into the planet as we see it in Revenge of the Sith, and that's how it is for years. Well, what you do in that game is you end up kind of ABY,
Yep.
Mac. It's close enough though.
Yeah.
You
It's
end
the
up basically
most important 18 years in Star Wars, right there.
yeah. What you end up doing, it's kind of a whole process. Again, I would highly recommend at least watching it, a playthrough on YouTube. Is you end up healing the process of what's happened.
Yeah.
And Mustafar begins to slowly heal itself. So when you jump 30 years later, Mustafar looks a little different. It's still got the lava, it's still got the ash. It's not perfect,
Yeah.
but it's slowly, because Mustafar was not like that.
Yeah.
The entire time, like it used to be like a lush, vibrant planet. But the big thing with Vader Immortal is the fact that he is attempting to bring Padme back. In that,
Yeah.
he has this. He has a specific item, and I believe it is tied to the Korvax, like Mustafarian Empire. I believe it has a name. People in the comments, feel free to fact check me on what the name of the the lineage or dynasty is called. But there is a scene where like he's trying to use this item or this artifact to like try to bring Padme back. And he's doing that in Fortress Vader. It obviously does not work, but it plays into a little bit of that conquering of death that we're hearing about.
Oh,
Master
wait a
of
minute.
Evil.
Wait a minute. In oh my gosh. In the what is the word I'm looking for? The book that just came out that we both got, where it was like the breakdown of like different places. Let
me go get complete locations.
Yeah, complete locations. That's the title I'm looking for. Specifically in Vader's castle, they have the which is literally the front of the book is Vader's castle. In the breakdown for Vader's castle, they have the specific area where it was like the Padme, like bring Padme back to life chamber.
Yep, you are completely right. I'm gonna bring it up right now.
While you look for that, shout out to Andrew who just got a YFDYR trucker hat, dude. Yeah, you can go get merch at the link in the description or in any of our bios on Instagram. There's some good merch. You can get the hat that I'm wearing. You can get the hat that Grayson's wearing. There's stuff with the Focus Squadron's logo on it. There's stuff with the term Focus. There's YFDYR. There's my personal favorite, the Arabesh one with YFDYR and Arabesh, the galactic font. So get yourself some merch, baby. Even if you don't, we're happy to have you. So you can go rep it. Andrew and anybody else who gets merch, take a photo of it, DM it to us, and if you'd like to, and we'll put it up on. It'll be it'll start going into the intros. I'm going to start collecting those of people wearing some merch and people being in Focus Squadron. But appreciate you, Andrew. Did you find it?
There is a focusing chamber with a Sith stone. There is conductor tunnel focuses energy in the dedicated chamber.
I feel like it was around where the Nubian is in the
so
castle.
it's split like this.
Yeah.
And the Nubian is like smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. Somewhere on there's like a something that's referred to as like a regeneration chamber or something.
Yeah, there's something here.
It's the Vader version of Ra's al Ghul's pit.
There is a Bacta storage, and Bacta chamber, transmission line into Sith plate, power transformer. Let me pull up Vader Immortal real quick as well. And see if it has a specific name. Vader Immortal, episode 1, because there's a moment where you're like peering through him through a vent, and he's got almost just like, it kind of looks like the Wayfinder, but like really big. By the way, I don't know if you know this, David S. Goyer wrote Vader Immortal. Do you know who that is?
Really?
Wrote The Dark Knight. Yeah.
What?
I'm telling you, it's great. Also, what's her face? Is it from SNL, Maya? What's the last name? Name? Maya Rudolph voices a droid in that game.
What?
She's the main droid. Yeah.
No way! I had no idea.
Yeah, she did. Sick. She did full mocap for it and everything.
What?
Mm-hmm. There's behind the scenes.
Dude, no way. Not to get off track, but I need to see Maya Rudolph in a mocap suit. That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it recently. I'll try to find it, and we can share it or something. Okay. I'm gonna kind of breeze through this. After escaping from the Hutts, you're a ship called the Windfall. You get pulled into Mustafar. Darth Vader visits you in the prison cell and orders to open a box. The smuggler that you are playing as the smuggler opens the box due to being a descendant of the ancient Force-sensitive being Lady Corvax. Vader then leaves, and a Mustafarian tells the smuggler that they have to. Why did you do that? They didn't say that, but my computer bugged out. They have to escape, or Vader will use them to find a crystal called the Bright Star. Make it to the hangar. Here they overhear Vader being told about a device called the Aeon Engine by a shadowy figure. With it, he is told Vader can have incredible power and possibly even resurrect the dead. They then see that Vader has an echo of Padme Amidala's soul preserved in a crystal structure, though he is unable to communicate with her. Okay, so it's called the Aeon Engine. And yeah, that's kind of his whole thing, is he's trying to use the Bright Star to access it, and he needs you, the player, to be able to do that. But of course, the Mustafarian people and the visions of Lady Corvax and the dynasty of the Corvax family are like, don't let Vader do that. That's not good.
Yeah.
So the Aeon Engine and the Bright Star. Let's see if I've got the Bright Star crystal, maybe. I'm going to see if it's almost kind of got this like crescent look to it. It's definitely gotta be here.
It's I believe it's on the left side of the castle. If it wasn't plugged in right now, I'm a wireless boy like you. I would hop off and go get it.
Oh wait, hold on.
The bookshelf over there. While we're gonna be talking about the Polygon article as well next, right?
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about any of the excerpts that have been released and stuff like that.
Let me pull that up. I'm just gonna play the just because I've only ever watched it like 3 times. I'm gonna play it again. Woo!
That is so peak. I'm
We're switched. Why are we flipped?
I think we did it at the same time.
Oh, we did it at the same
time? I can't find it, but it definitely is in here somewhere. Trust. This book is also great, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't have it, it's a fun one for Star Wars fans.
It's peak.
Also, we'll get into it, but I do want to show off a sneak peek because I do have a video to make about it. Got a package today. I love my mom, okay? Get over it. She found on Facebook Marketplace a full box of some opened, some unopened, completely pristine cups from the 1996 special edition that they had from Taco Bell. Dude, I got a Vader opened and a Vader it came with all of the cups in the bags, came with all of the straws. This thing this is probably the cleanest thing in my collection because it was just in a plastic bag.
Dude, your mom just had that?
No. She found it on Facebook Marketplace and she was like, hey, this is pretty cool. This looks like something you would like. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, I'll go, because they live in Florida. She's like, all right, I'll tell your father to go over there and pick it up. So my dad drove 20 minutes to go to this guy's house. He was just like, yeah, my son's a nerd or something. Just, can I have the thing? So my father also apparently sounds like Harrison Ford.
Hey, kid, I got you a Darth Vader Taco Bell.
So I had to put this out just because we were talking about Vader. But yeah, dude, this thing is so sick. And this thing is officially as old as I am. I am as old as this cup.
What year was that? 96?
96.
Dude.
Yep.
You're Unk.
Yeah, Unk. Unk University.
No, dude, everybody has just been calling me Unk at work, and I've just accepted it. I've just embraced that I am the wizened one. Okay?
With my laugh. All right, what are we talking about with this?
Yeah, so you got the kind of the exclusive Polygon article. Do you want to just read it?
Well, should we kind of go through what this is, like a synopsis of the article? So basically what this is this was released. It's a pretty long excerpt from the book for a preview. But there's some really cool stuff in here. Yeah, if you want to go through it, I think it starts right here.
So is this? Oh, this is actually an excerpt from the book.
This is all from the book, dude. So like,
do you want me to fully you want to do a full audiobook right now?
Do you want to do it like school and do popcorn?
Like where we like go back and forth?
Yeah,
like we read every article or already
gaze out on the Coruscant cityscape. Popcorn will. Popcorn.
I'm not saying that, but we'll just say it's an unspoken.
Wait, what's the popcorn from Bad Batch?
Isn't it like? Oh gosh! See, I'm only thinking of Katsaka's kettle from Galaxy's Edge. But what is the Hannah? What is this? Hannah. What is the stuff that they eat in Bad Batch that they love?
What's the anybody in chat? What's the popcorn called? Montel Mix.
No, okay. This is why you're part of Focus Base.
Yeah, that's why we need you, dude. That's why we need you.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to kick this off?
Okay, so what do I call? Do I say Mantel will?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. So we're just doing every paragraph or every like break.
Whenever that's the magic of Mantel Mix is.
Okay.
When you're done, you're like, I don't want to read this.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna channel my my inner Mark Thompson. Mark, if you're watching, we love you. You're the GOAT.
Mark Thompson.
He's the best. The Emperor's office at the pinnacle of the Imperial Executive Building was a large, imposing space dominated by the magnificent curve of the floor-to-ceiling window that spanned the far wall, with the angular form of the Emperor's throne positioned on a raised platform before it so he could, should the mood take him, gaze out on the Coruscant cityscape. Right now, the Emperor was indeed looking out from the office window. Behind the turned throne, Darth Vader knelt. Head bowed, the deep, repeating rhythm of his respirator the only sound in the room. He and the Emperor were alone. The two scarlet-robed royal guards that provided customary, if perhaps unnecessary, security had been dismissed as soon as the Emperor's apprentice had arrived. Mantel will.
Time passed. In the world outside, silent beyond the glass wall, the air traffic was thick and without end, even as the Coruscant night ran well into the small hours. Finally, the Emperor spoke. He did not turn around, and from Vader's position before the what is that? Dais?
Dais. Yeah.
What is like a dais?
It's like a raised, elevated platform.
Palpatine, you boozy son of a gun. It seems
Shout out Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. Master Dais, Sifo Dais. Like his master's cracked voice came from everywhere but nowhere. I sense something within you, my apprentice. Popcorn or Mantel Mix, Grayson?
Oh, perfect. Vader's masked head jerked up at the words, but he did not answer. He just stared at the back of the throne. Desire, said the Emperor. He gave a short, low chuckle as the throne turned around of its own accord until the master faced his apprentice. Only the lower portion of the Emperor's face was visible beneath his wide cowl, but eyes of yellow glittered from the dark shadow within. You have a thirst for power, Lord Vader. This I am pleased with, but it is your thirst for knowledge that I find interesting. Again, the low chuckle. The Emperor leaned forward, just a little, his voice dropping to a high, sibilant whisper, the voice of an old and wizened man, just like me, which he most certainly was not, despite appearances. Perhaps you saw something in the cave on Mustafar. Mantel Mix will.
Vader did not speak, but he lowered his head in supplication to his master once more. Or perhaps something in that cave saw you. At this, Vader looked up again. The Emperor's death-white face was now exposed by the lights, his features pulled back into a rictus grin. Power you already have, my apprentice. The more you have, the more you seek. The thirst for it will drive you as it drives all the Sith. This is good. The Emperor paused and his voice dropped again. But knowledge can be a dangerous thing. There are some aspects of the dark side you will not learn until you are ready to learn. And it is I who will decide when the time is right. Mantel Mix Grayson?
I seek only answers, my master. Lord Vader hesitated, his breathing filling the space again before he continued. You promised to guide me along the pathways of the dark side. Take care, Lord Vader, the Emperor snapped. There are secrets I have shared, and secrets yet to be unlocked. Your journey is still in its infancy. Yes, my master. Mental mix will.
Ambition is good, but it may also be your downfall. Yes, my master. Vader looked down, then his head snapped up. But I am ready to learn. You said you could teach me. The Emperor stood quickly, his speed bellying the apparent frailty of his body. He stepped forward on the dais and looked down at his apprentice, and he laughed, quietly at first, but the sound became a blood-curdling, witch-like cackle. You were enamored with that story, were you not? Asked the Emperor. The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Oh, yes. The dark side has the power to hold back death, even to venture beyond it. He stepped closer to Vader, pointing one gnarled finger at him. That is what you want to know, is it not? The secrets that lie beyond. You think they will allow you to be reunited with her, do you not, Mantel Mix Grayson?
Vader's blank gaze did not waver from his master's glare. It is what you promised, my master. The Emperor dropped his hand, his face twisted with sudden anger. There is much you must learn, Lord Vader, including patience. He walked back to his throne. Perhaps I should have let you see the power of the Virgins on Mustafar so soon. He turned back to Vader. Perhaps you are not as ready as I thought. I have underestimated your ability to understand. Vader finally stood. As the Emperor sank slowly into his throne, Vader stepped up onto the dais, his huge frame towering over his master. When I bled the kyber crystal in the cave, the dark side showed itself to me in a way I did not think possible. I have seen it, my master. He raised the fist and clenched it in the air. I have seen the true power of the Force. What you have taught me is only the beginning. Mantel Mix will.
A wry smile played over the Emperor's wizened features. Good, my apprentice, good. Your experience on Mustafar was indeed a worthwhile exercise. It is true, there is much to understand about the dark side. Then his smile dropped, and the Emperor stood. Vader took a step backward as his master held out both hands. But beware what it promises. The Emperor's hand snapped into claws, and from the tips of his bent fingers burst an onslaught of blue lightning, the forks of which seemed to be drawn to the shape of Vader's body, embracing him in a cradle of crackling, snapping force energy. Vader was lifted off his feet and fell backwards, carried across the room by the wave of lightning. He hit the floor on his side and rolled over, the power still coursing from the Emperor's outstretched hands. The Emperor's face twisted into a grimace of pure hatred. Then it stopped. The Emperor stepped off the dais and walked slowly over to where Vader lay. Smoke curled from Vader's armor as he tried to raise himself up, his mechanized breathing regular, but now wheezing slightly with effort. Mantel Mix Grayson.
Remember, Lord Vader, said the Emperor, standing over his apprentice. There is no power in the Force that is not mine, for I am the dark side.
And that's where it ends.
Bro, first of all, just wanted to say, I actually withheld reading this until we did the stream. So that
really?
was, yes, that was extremely exciting to read live. And I need this book injected into my veins. Because truly, that was just like, I felt like we were reading it, but I felt like I was just like watching a movie, you know? Like,
truly, look, if I had to pick my 3 favorite books that we've read for Tales of the Archives, shout out to Connor and Seth over at Tales of the Archives as well, who do that with us from Beyond the Dune Sea.
And that is continuing, by the way.
Yes.
That is just, we have been very busy, but it is still in the pipeline.
With a book also from Adam Christopher, Shadows of the Sith. But if I had to pick 3 that have been my top 3 that we've read, it's Plagueis, it's Shadows of the Sith, and it's the Revenge of the Sith novelization. And all of those are such stepping stones, I feel, when you take a look at this novel, because of obviously the look, you can't have Vader without Revenge of the Sith. You also
Yep.
can't have Palpatine and where he started without Plagueis, which I know is Legends now, but you
It's
still
still
get
crucial.
Plagueis. It's still extremely crucial, and it is probably, I would say, arguably the best Star Wars read. Just if you're looking to get into,
I was about to
Wars
say Plagueis and Revenge of the Sith are the two that I always recommend to people, because it's like Plagueis, if you want something completely new and add to that perspective, you like, that's a great place to jump, even if it's Legends. But Revenge of the Sith is like, you've already seen the movie, so it just gives you another perspective of it. And those two, I mean, they play right into what we just read. And of course, like you said, I didn't mean to cut you off, but with Shadow of the Sith as well, like, the book literally opens with one of the final lines from the Revenge of the Sith novelization, which talk about an homage, and obviously dealing with some outlying threads of Palpatine. So this is like straight up just like core Vader Palpatine content right here. And I mean, it's written so in, like, they exude their characters, like.
And I truly, going through Shadows of the Sith this most recent time for Tales of the Archives, and I've been going back and just reading my favorite chapters from the book up until us doing the initial live stream to talk about the book. But like, his writing is so much fun, and it's so captivating when you're talking about Star Wars, and when you just have that in the back of your head of like, look, everybody in the back of their head has that thing of like, when people describe new Star Wars or any Star Wars media, they go, oh, that's Star Wars. And that's different for everybody, but there's always a crossover when everybody's describing what Star Wars is for them. When it comes to what makes them feel like, oh, I am watching Star Wars. Adam Christopher's writing Shadows of the Sith and then going into this, solid. Like 100% the same blood, guts, and bones of everything else that I'm sure everyone else loves about Star Wars. It is so much fun. And reading this, like going through it, I cannot wait. Mark Thompson is doing the audiobook.
Yes, he is.
So shout out to him, because I cannot wait.
That will be one that
it.
I will be listening as I read along. I did that most recently with Death Troopers, and there's certain books that I can do it with. There's certain ones that I cannot. Mark is a voiceover wizard. That we also have done the Thrawn trilogy. Like, his Thrawn trilogy coverage of all those audiobooks is phenomenal. He actually did the Essential Legends collection of James Luceno's Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader, which is another Darth Vader project that came out roughly around the time Revenge of the Sith came out. And that audiobook just came out this year, and I have not personally listened to it, but I have it saved on my Spotify. I hear it is just phenomenal. So, I mean, they are firing on all cylinders when it comes to this book. And the only other thing that I wanted to say on my note, as well, is if you want to kind of whet your appetite a little bit more with some Palpatine Vader content, there was a book that came out in 2015 written by Paul S. Kemp called Lords of the Sith that is set on Ryloth. If you are a Clone Wars and Rebels fan, you will probably like it. I have the hardcover just off camera over there. But this is the first Vader novel we have gotten since that book. So, and it's like we've gotten Vader content in other ways, like with comics and such, like the Soul Run and the Kieran Gillen run and everything. But when you think about that time gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, there's so many Vader stories that could be told here. And so this is seems to be riding off of, continuing the good work that Soul put in with his Vader run, and just riding that high in the best way. I think Adam Christopher is gonna crush this book, especially with what we read.
Oh, I mean, if that's just a piece of it, like, that was the read-through version of watching a Star Wars trailer. Like,
yeah, dude,
the way you get hyped up to see a new Star Wars trailer of like, oh, Star Wars is back in theaters, is the exact same way that felt reading through that excerpt. So if that's just a piece of the book, It's going to be
But,
so much fun.
by the way, you pulled up that pre-order. Of course, Barnes &
yeah.
Noble's doing a limited time thing. Also, just love that you and I are two of the two of the three comments.
Yeah.
That is how giddy we are for this
Dude,
book.
we are so stoked about this. And like, look, I know it's kind of a bummer. This is already sold out, dude.
I know, dude. They did two different because they did the Inkstone, and there's another brand that's doing a different one that has has a difference, but like sold out quick. Dude.
But yeah. So look, and there's our boy Retney.
Yeah. There was a couple. Was there the couple other articles that was there anything else that like kind of stood out to you that we should speak on?
I was going to ask. I want to know if you had any just theories or guesses for what not only this time period might be, but what specifically Vader will be going to do in this time period. Because
one of the articles I believe does mention kind of what he'll be doing.
Is it this one?
Yep, that is the one. I can read that one real quick as well.
Okay.
And then we can kind of dive into the theories of it. You actually posted it on our Instagram, so that'll be easy for me to find because I have bad eyesight. Okay. After Revenge of the Sith, a newly forged Darth Vader hunts for the secrets of life and death under the watchful eye of Emperor Palpatine. In the wake of Emperor Palpatine's rise to power, the true nature of his most sinister enforcer remains a mystery. Darth Vader is a dominant yet elusive figure, the shadow cast by a malignant imperial regime unknowable to even its top officials. But even as his humanity gives way to myth, Vader remains haunted by the promises of the dark side, seeking the ultimate power that his master has hinted at but withheld, the power to conquer death itself. On the volcanic world of Mustafar, Vader undertakes a dark ritual, bleeding a kyber crystal to forge his lightsaber, which happens in Charles Soule's Vader run. This act unleashes a power far greater than he anticipated, giving him a glimpse into the limitless potential of the Force. Vader is determined to follow this vision, even if it means defying his master's orders. Yet he finds the Emperor suspiciously supportive of his mission, even sending Vader to the Deso system to investigate rumors of a force-wielding shaman able to raise the dead. At his side are a cadre of the Emperor's Scarlet-Robed Royal Guard, led by Colonel Halland Goth, a decorated soldier with a very personal interest in Vader's mission. Even as the Emperor's true motivations reveal themselves, Vader falls deeper into obsession. His journey takes him far across the galaxy, chasing rumors and phantoms. But no matter how far he travels, he cannot escape the shadows within his own soul. Haunted by the echoes of his past, Vader circles the true resolution to his quest. Only once all weakness is purged can he become a master of evil.
Yeah, dude.
So definitely sounds like it's going to be him kind of hopping around a little bit. I'm very intrigued by this force-wielding shaman. Because you and I, there's so many times that we talk about, we love when you get different perspectives of the Force.
Right.
We're obviously watching through Ahsoka, what has a lot of mythological element to it. I already mentioned Vader Immortal, which has the Mustafarian, like Lady Corvax was Force sensitive. We've got in the Acolyte with which is there. We also have the Dathomirian Night Sisters. We've got the Lasan with their version of the Force.
Yeah.
We have so many different variations. So I'm intrigued to. I have not looked into this Deso system, but it seems to be kind of a new thread that we're getting to possibly him like unlocking that power, which obviously he's not going to succeed at, but. When it comes to my theories, one, I do think there's going to be a little bit of time jumping. I think there's going to be some location hopping. I do think we will get some direct ties or even some scene-for-scene remakes of the Soul Run. I would be shocked if it doesn't open with him seeing the vision of like when he builds his lightsaber crystal, which I can pull up right now. Or when he builds his lightsaber, I should say. Maybe opening with like the tail end of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is when he fights. Correct. Infila. I can't remember. Did he goes to Mustafar he bleeds Karak's crystal, but then he later on has to construct the new lightsaber. There is
Right.
Jocasta Nu. But yeah, that's kind of my initial theories. I also think we're definitely going to get some Inquisitors in here, for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Prime Inquisitor era. I would be shocked if we did not get the Grand Inquisitor.
I feel like a Tarkin is a given.
100%.
Would you
Okay.
think a Krennic might be a possibility? Just because at this point,
Not unlikely.
yeah, not unlikely. I mean, at this
Cry more. I'm just kidding.
yeah. Kowakian Kopi lizards, dude, for sure.
Okay, so
Shout
I've
out
got
to
it.
Retney Colacron. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hope you're
The
good.
goat, by the
Yeah,
way.
I know he's stoked for this book too. I can't wait for his breakdown.
We definitely were gonna have to chat with him about it as well.
Yeah.
Kind of do a post-mortem thing. Okay, so it's right after he takes out Karak Infala and he takes the lightsaber. You can see here. He ends up Palpatine is the one that tell him to go to Mustafar, and that's where he finds the Vergence and the Force. He finds the Mustafar cave. Which was obviously a reference to Ralph McQuarrie's original concept for Return of the Jedi with the cave. But you can see him
sick, dude,
walking into the cave and trying to bleed Karak's crystal. And it is when he tries to do this that he gets thrown back, and kind of it resists him. And then he starts to he has this entire vision where he ends up going back to Palpatine to actually to try to take him out. And it's this whole vision, and he ends up going back to Obi-Wan, and he apologizes and everything. But then very quickly he like stammers that out of his mind. And he says, he goes, "No, I refuse. This is all there is." And he starts to bleed it. And that's where you get the bleeding process of him going through kind of all the moments, and he's on this Vergence on Mustafar with all the iconography and everything, getting flashes of Obi-Wan. Even on the next page, he's doing it again, and he's seeing like Shmi's death and Padme and everything like that. And then that is when he goes back to Palpatine and he officially bleeds his crystal. So my theory is that it'll probably be. I would be in. Here's my theories. Either there is a little bit of a time gap in between. Honestly, this is interesting. I don't know. It could honestly pick up right after this scene because he's still pretty beat up after his fight with Karak, but he's speaking to Palpatine. It might like be right after this before he fully, because he doesn't fully make his new saber until he fights Jocasta. So he's talking to the next issue. He's talking to Palpatine from the table in the Reconstruction Center, and that's when he kind of has the whole like Jocasta Nu arc and everything. And then,
so you're saying after that, before the Jocasta Nu arc?
I think potentially part of it is between that, and then I think another part of it is after Jocasta's death.
It's interesting
because right here he still has Karak Infala's lightsaber hilt.
Yeah,
Jocasta is the one that destroys it. Like it gets destroyed in that fight, and that's when he has to build his new one
with the giant Jedi assault rifle that she has.
Yeah, yeah.
It's what's interesting is talking about the timeline of when this takes place. The article on StarWars.com says before A New Hope. Like I'm gonna pull up the wording, but it's like I think it's pretty close to A New Hope in the wording, if I remember correctly. But in this breakdown for Master of Evil, the first line is after Revenge of the Sith, in the wake of Emperor Palpatine's rise to power, which makes you think it's pretty soon after Revenge of the Sith.
That's why I think, because the Jocasta arc of when he builds his lightsaber and defeats Jocasta Nu is like, these are still clones. They're still clones here. So they're not TKs. So I think it is in between. I can actually pull up. There's a specific timeline of the Vader Soul Run. I wrote in my notes that I think it is in between the. It is somewhere in between the Crystal Bleeding and then the Fortress arc. Whether that is before or after the invasion of Mon Cala is hard to say. But I did. There's a little thing on the Wikipedia for the Vader 2017 run. Why did it do this? Go back. Stop. There we go. Why am I zooming out right now? Okay, whatever. Okay, so it's 25 issues. The article below, when it looks at the timeline, it says, so it's 19 BBY to 12 BBY. That is the Soul Run. Why did it open a separate article? Okay. Darth Vader 2017 begins during the ending of Revenge of the Sith.
Are we about to do a Hannah right now?
Not as bad. Which is set 19 BBY, so we can assume that the series takes place during that year from the first issue until Darth Vader 2017. Darth Vader issue 12. As Ultimate Star Wars New Edition states, that the invasion of Mon Cala, which starts Darth Vader number 13, is placed in 18 BBY.
All right,
from Darth Vader 20.
Hold on, you're throwing a lot of info at me that I have.
No. It literally is just it's the first 12 issues are within a year of Revenge of the Sith. Oh, you've got a whiteboard out. Let's freaking go. Okay, my bad. I had the article pulled up.
Yeah, I was like, you're throwing a lot of info at me that I know I'm going to have to write down. So, here, let's do this.
Dude, how do I turn off the zoom on my freaking browser?
I don't know what you're talking about, but give me a second. All right.
Okay.
Put it right here.
Okay. You want to put right above Revenge of the Sith that is 19 BBY?
Yes.
And then obviously A New Hope is 0 BBY. The first dash closest to Revenge of the Sith is that is the first 12 issues of the Soul Run. So that is everything up until the invasion of Mon Cala.
Okay,
perfect. So that goes all the way up to 18 BBY. So you could put 18 BBY underneath that if you wanted to. Then what do they say here? Okay. The next thing is, why does it keep doing that? Okay. Then the invasion of Mon Cala takes place in 18 BBY. So issues 18. Sorry. Because there's so many numbers. Issues 13 to, I believe, 23 takes place in 18 BBY.
13 to 23?
Yes. Or I guess, yeah, 13 to 23 or 22.
That's the invasion of Mon Cala?
That is during 18 BBY. Then the last 3 issues, or the last 3 issues, which is, I guess, technically 23 to 25, is in 12 BBY.
Okay. Okay, give me that again.
You can jump way ahead, but yeah, in 12 BBY is I would make some space there. Make some space because you're gonna need
between 18 and 12.
Yeah, like leave a little bit of a gap because there's one other thing I got to fill in there that's not directly tied to the Soul Run. But 12 BBY is the last 3 issues of the run. So technically, I guess it would be 23 to 25. That is the Fortress Vader. That is the end of the Soul Run.
Okay.
The only other important date that I have is that Lords of the Sith is 14 BBY. So it is in between the invasion of Mon Cala and the Fortress Vader arc.
Okay.
And then there is one more closer to A New Hope. But I'll let you get to that in a second.
Say it again. What's 14 BBY?
That is Lords of the Sith.
Lords of the Sith, yeah.
I'm not going to do all the stuff with like Fallen Order and Survivor, because that's...
What about
Vader Immortal?
Vader Immortal?
That is 1 BBY. So it is within almost a year before A New Hope. Presumably before Rogue One as well.
Okay.
So that is kind of the important timeline there. My speculation is that Vader Immortal, Master of Evil, will mostly be set in between issues 12. Sorry, probably issues. I think it's going to take place somewhere in between issues 12 to 23. Like I think it's probably going to be pre-invasion of Mon Cala, I would say, because Palpatine, the way he's talking in the excerpt.
So you're saying like 17 through 15 BBY.
Yes. Like that's where I'm thinking, but I do think it will jump ahead closer to when A New Hope happens, when he is in Vader Immortal.
Okay. And then So you think it's going to be before Vader Immortal or after?
I think it'll be before Vader Immortal.
Because that's a 12-year gap.
Well, actually, it might even there might be some stuff concurrently with Vader Immortal, but I think it's going to be split into two distinct acts. I think it's going to be early, which is that like 17 to 12 BBY, that 5 years. Because it says they're kind of hopping around here. I think he's probably going to be doing this in the middle of other things. And then I think it'll shift closer. Because like you said in that original article, it said right before A New Hope. So
okay, so I pulled up the article and it does not say right before. That
does it? Does it just say?
What it says is from comic runs to Star Wars Rebels, we've had a chance to see what Darth Vader was up to after the events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, but just how dark is Vader's pre-Star Wars A New Hope journey? The newly announced Star Wars Master of Evil by Adam Christopher, author of the New York Times bestselling Star Wars Shadows of the Sith, chronicles Vader's haunting pursuit of the power to conquer death. Take a look at the creepy cover reveal by Simon Goynard. I believe his name is pronounced. And get your hands on the sinister story on November 11th, 2025. Shout out to, what is that? 4 days before my birthday? 4 days after my birthday? Yeah.
4 days after your birthday.
Thanks, Adam Christopher. You wrote this for my birthday. I believe
Heck
you
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
When does the Gillen stuff take place, though? So like
that's after New Hope.
That's after A New Hope, right?
That's in between A New Hope and Empire.
Padme's tomb and stuff like that, which would actually be sick if what happens in this book, and obviously leading up to Vader Immortal, is if he is trying to do something to bring Padme back, and it is finite. It is 100% set in stone that he cannot do it. And then living in the wake of A New Hope, finding out Luke is alive, and then doing everything with like the handmaidens and all of that stuff of like,
because that's all Empire, yeah.
Because that's all of like, and then having to live through like going back to Padme's tomb and like, so maybe at this point there's that thing of like he's still in denial of like, no, I can still save her, I can still bring her back, but then the end of this book is him like the definitive. I have failed.
Mhm.
and then
And
having
this,
to
and this
live
is
with
it.
and
That's why in
actually
Return of the
having to
Jedi,
have
he's
that
like,
guilt.
it's too late. The only options are either he turns Luke or that's it. Like there's no going back for him in his mind, you know.
Yep.
And I that's why I think part of it will take place also pre Rebels and pre Kenobi.
Right.
I think the bulk of the story will be before that, and then I think we'll probably get like I would not be surprised if it's broken up into like acts or like um if it's like gonna have like a
I don't know.
because like Shadow of the Sith, like you'll hop around and it'll be like, okay, we're gonna go back and we're gonna tell a little bit about Dathan, right?
Yeah.
And then oh, we'll get a little bit of Ochi, right? But then it'll jump back to that 18 years after Return of the Jedi, or 17 years
Speaking
roughly.
of Dathan, Wes just brought up possible connections from Shadow of the Sith. Dathan is born well, BBY.
Oh, do you think we'll get a point of him? Well, because he goes to Exegol for the first time in after Empire,
Right.
So that's honestly that ties into a little bit of the stuff of Palpatine withholding information from Vader because he's like, I'm not going to give you all the secrets of that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we might even get some little. Ooh, do you think we'll get some like follow-ups or mentions of what happens in Bad Batch?
That's
well?
exactly what I was just about to bring up. Of that's not Necromancer, is it?
I think it is, right? With
That's
the stuff,
Project Necromancer.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
When is Project Necromancer is mentioned in Bad Batch? Because it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I get that one confused with what's the project in Clone Wars where he starts to like find and take children. It's extremely similar to Project Necromancer, but it's like how he determined that you can like steal kids and stuff. Because it's like there's that cutscene of like Palpatine in that like wraparound almost like science like area, like that experiment room, and all of the holograms of like the kids are popping up.
Yeah, in Clone Wars. Yeah. That's what sets up a lot of the stuff in like Fallen Order as well, with like the holocron and like picking out the children that they need to like the kitty to be Inquisitors or Jedi. Even like with what we see the Inquisitors doing in Rebels, where they're trying to get those. It's like a through line to that arc. So Necromancer is definitely like him coming back.
That would be really interesting if while Vader is out trying to figure that out, because in the excerpt on Adam Christopher's Instagram, Vader is determined to follow his vision even if it means defying his master's orders, which that is literally Palpatine's whole MO, is him trying to figure that out at the exact same time. So both of them concurrently trying to do the exact same
he's
thing.
always because what he did to Plagueis, he doesn't want that to happen again to him. He's like it's like a carrot on a stick, you know. He's like trying to like dangle it in front of Vader, but Vader's like, well, you promised me this. I'm just going to figure it out myself. Because there's always that contention between Palpatine and Vader, where it's like, you know, he's like a frenemy sort of thing, where he's like, I'm your friend. Like, remember, I helped you out through all of this stuff, but also he's always just keeping him far away enough to where he can't. And that's kind of Palpatine's whole thing. The other thing that I want to mention is I think we're going to get another perspective of this other character, this Colonel Halland Goth, saying that he has a very, very personal interest in Vader's mission.
He's tagging character, right?
New character, from what I can tell. He's leading the Royal Guard. The Royal Guard are going to be part of this as well. When does Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order take place?
Jedi Fallen Order is exactly what I was about to do.
Fallen Order, I believe, is 3 or 4 years after Revenge of the Sith. Like, it's not long. Like, I think Cal is like, I think it's 5 years, and I think Survivor is another 5 years, because Survivor and Kenobi are roughly the same year.
Right.
It doesn't matter. I don't know if Kenobi or Survivor happens first. I would imagine Kenobi is after Survivor.
Really?
I don't know. I just feel like Vader is a little bit more like locked in well, I don't know, maybe it would be like
unless what Vader he is more locked in, but maybe that's because he has finally like
it's true,
like worrying about Obi-Wan.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Maybe that's also why he's a little bit like weakened against Seer. Like he's kind of off his edge, but he still gets the upper hand. You know,
even though that level takes 400 tries.
Not if you're good like me.
Or if you're playing on easy.
I was playing on the second hardest difficulty.
Oh boy.
Did you? So Fallen Order is what? Is it 14 BBY?
I went off the tab. Hold on. Oh, 14 BBY, correct. Approximately 5 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the
So
Sith.
then is Kenobi and Survivor 9 BBY?
Jedi Survivor is 9 BBY.
Guys, I know Star Wars timelines, bro.
I've read the book.
Okay. I think we like that's like a solid foundation there. Obviously, like that sort of stuff, like the little like Survivor and Fallen Order and everything. But I do think the bulk of the story, now that we've kind of corrected ourselves, is probably going to be taking place in that gap when Souls run.
Right.
Which is really exciting because I mean that is truly. I made a video a while back on it. That is peak Vader content,
dude.
Run, guys. Before this book, you have 2 months. Run to your comic book store and go get the trade. This is a hardcover, but still, go. There's 25 issues. There's 4 of these. They're probably like $12 a piece. Probably drop less than $50 to get all 4 of them.
They're
you
fun,
won't
dude.
regret it. If you want, like, if you're a Vader head and you just want more Vader stuff, and people are like, oh, like they should do a Vader show and everything. I always say that the Soul Run is absolutely what they could do a Vader show on. Right. So to get Master of Evil to like connect that through line is very interesting, but that's really all the speculation that I have on like timeline wise and what he'll be up to. They're definitely being vague. I can't predict everything. I do think we'll get, like I said, some Inquisitor appearances. We'll probably get some cool Palpatine stuff.
Yes.
Like Carter said, support your local comic book shop. Indeed.
Absolutely.
And we are big comic guys over here. Wes also said like a Palpatine POV shift. I'd be shocked if we didn't get a Palpatine section. And Macman said, do you think Vader's in Jedi 3? There's no way they just wouldn't have him in the third game. It's like at this point, it's almost like a given ritual. God King Sosa, did I check out the new Legacy of Vader comic this week? Well, I'll be talking a little bit about that a little later.
Are we doing Meditation Point or Ahsoka first?
Surprise me. Legacy of Vader. I caught up last night. I read issue 7 because I was behind. That was kind of a standalone issue. And then I did issue 8. Yeah. This one, I won't talk about it super long. But speaking of Charles Soule, he is currently writing Legacy of Vader. They even have the same Vader font. Look at that. Vader.
Dude.
Vader.
It's sick.
It's really good. And in this newest issue, we got a huge explanation on where the heck the Knights of Ren were at in The Force Awakens and Last Jedi. And it's very cool. Will, do you know about this? Have you heard about this?
Yes. Retney finally, he posted a video today, and the thumbnail was just, they told us something!
Yeah.
About the Knights of Ren, which I thought
they were like,
really
what were they doing? Well, we get the introduction of Tava Ren, right. Who is now leading the Knights of Ren, and she's kind of like doesn't really know about Kylo. And it is essentially explained that right before The Force Awakens, Kylo, he'd already left the temple, he'd already fully transformed into Kylo at this point, was running around with the Knights of Ren. And eventually Snoke comes along and is like, you had your fun, pal, but it's time to kind of lock in. It's time to take things seriously. You're better than these guys. They're like, this is kind of beneath you now. Like it's run its course. Get like time to move on. And Kylo is like, do you want me to kill them? And Snoke is like, nah, I got him. And they basically just sends an entire platoon of stormtroopers and just like chase them off. And so there's a little bit of a time gap in between there, but basically it seems like, because the thing is the Knights of Ren, while they are a semi-religious cult, they are also pirates and bandits.
Yeah.
They're like if like they're they describe the leader as, of course, the Ren. That's what they call it, but they call it the Shadow. That's what they call the Force. So they always have a leader who like kind of controls the Shadow and then kind of like helps lead them to victory, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, they're pirates, they're bandits. But even in the comic, they are described as like even being a little too dark, or Kylo's being a little too dark for them. Like they're at like some club, and
I
Kylo
saw that
is just
panel of him
yeah,
like hanging out, and they're like, "Man, this guy sucks."
And then he just kills them all.
Yep.
Like he just and you're like, "Dang, okay." They were like,
dude.
"This guy's a little bit of an oddball," because Ren, honestly, kind of a chill guy. Like Ren with like the white hair from the Charles Soule original Kylo 4 issue, and like he's not a great guy, but he's kind of more like a come chill, let's hang, like I'll teach you a thing or two.
Yeah.
Carter and I always said that like we view his voice as like Walton Goggins. Like I hear Walton Goggins when I hear Ren. She also has like immaculate drip. Like he's got the helmet, he's got the no shirt. It's sick.
The helmet's sick.
It is really cool. But then Tava, basically the Knights of Ren tell her this story about like this is kind of where our other leader's at. Like you probably should know this, because she's like, why have I not heard about this? And she ends up actually going to seek out Kylo, and the end of the issue is her bowing down to him and being like, I'm your servant. But it definitely seems like the next issue is like the cover is them like clashing sabers.
Yeah.
So definitely seems like there's some ulterior motive, but she has the symbol of Ren's helmet tattooed on her neck. So I can actually pull out the issue and show some of the art right now, which is just so good.
So the art for this entire run has been so good.
It has been fantastic. Let's see here. So the moment, actually, this is in The Force Awakens. Do you remember this moment right here?
Yep.
That's like in one of the visions that Rey sees. That's like the mission that happens when the Knights of Ren get chased off. And Snoke also summons like a lightning storm to chase him off as well. And then she's like, okay, I see what's going on now. Which, by the way, dude, this is like the drip here. It goes crazy.
The helmet's sick.
It's sick. I'm like, listen, I like Ren's helmet. Tava, like with like the devil horns and like the red hair coming out of the back. It is so cool. Her saber is also really sick. Like it's really cool. But yeah, she pulls up and she takes her helmet off in front of Kylo, and I can't tell if she's, dude, she looks so much like Mara Jade. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like it's, of course, on the same page that this is here too.
Bonkers placement from advertising right there.
She's got the green eyes, but yeah, she's got the tattoo on her neck, as you can see. And then the issue ends there, but then you can see this is the next issue art right here, which goes dummy hard.
Really cool.
So yeah, we get a little bit. It kind of gives a little more insight into the Knights of Ren. But if you, I'm someone who have only recently been like actively keeping up with comics like issue to issue. Like I used to not be like that. I would just like wait till a trade would come out and just read the whole thing.
Yeah.
There have been 2 runs that I've actively kept up with this year. That is Ultimate Spider-Man, which if you're a Spider-Man fan, read it. And has been this. Like this has been one of the only Star Wars series that I've been keeping up with. I don't really keep up with a lot of like the Star Wars main runs because there's just so much. Like there's so many crossover events. Like there's like the Crimson Reign and the Hidden Empire and War of the Bounty Hunters and Screaming Citadel and all of this stuff. And it's like it's fun, but it can be overwhelming. Whereas this is very much just like, hey, here's a new issue every month. And so if you like if you want more kind of flesh out on the sequels and also enjoy Kylo Ren as a character, definitely pick this up. This issue right here was phenomenal as well. It was like him going to find an Order 66 survivor.
Oh yeah.
And she's like basically like it's not been a Jedi for like 50 years. She's like basically she was the one that like got really good at mind tricking people, but she mind tricks him so hard that like he thinks he kills her and then she just like disappears. She like kind of planting those seeds of like the turn possibly happening, you know?
Yeah.
It's also funny. I never realized this, but all of the covers have him with his helmet, but he does not have his helmet in the run at all. Because you know he hasn't. It's destroyed at this point. So
in some of the variants he has, he doesn't have his helmet.
Yeah, but it's like this is like the main. This is not even a variant cover. This is like a main issue. It's the same thing with the other one, but you know, it's for artistic purposes. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's so on the same line of Charles Soule and Darth Vader. This is peak. There was literally only one moment in this entire run where I was kind of like, and it just has something to do with like on Corellia. But it's so quick that like I was like, everything else was so good that I wasn't really bothered by it. It doesn't bother me. It's just like I was like, that issue didn't really do it for me, but everything else has been great.
Yeah. Limitless Nerd just popped into the chat too. Another member,
dude,
right there with that really cool Determined Focus logo right next to his name in the chat because he is a member. That helmet is iconic. I agree. Kylo Ren's they really cooked with Kylo Ren's.
I love how medieval it looks. That's why I also like Tava's helmet as well. As I'm just like I love how it looks like just so like they both look so medieval, like in knight like I mean they are literally the Knights of Ren. So when it's just like the black armor and the like it's like the only other like some of the only other characters that kind of have that aesthetic is like if you gave them helmets would be like Balin and Shin,
right?
Which I love when, as Sam Witwer says, from a world of knights and dragons.
Yep.
And I love when the clothing, especially of Force users.
This is so geeky.
Sorry.
It's been so long, dude.
It's been an hour and 26 minutes, and we have not said it, so I had to hit the button.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I wonder what Sam Witwer will think of Master of Evil.
Sam would love to know his thoughts.
I would love to as well, dude. I posted that Force Unleashed 2 edit today, and like someone just made one, and it had the clips of like the cave and like all of the Star Killers, like the clones and the cave, and I'm like, dude, Force Unleashed 2 underrated, bro. Like that game gets. People like really diss on Force Unleashed 2, and I'm like, I love that game. And I know you like Force Unleashed 2 better than the first one.
There is a very, very special place in my heart for Force Unleashed 2 specifically.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great. Any thoughts on my info dump here on Legacy of Vader?
It was all extremely well thought out, and I enjoyed listening to it. I, like you were saying earlier, where you were like, I'm somebody who used to wait for like runs to be over. This run specifically is where I'm like, we'll see how long it goes on for, because I'm like, I think it might go on for a pretty long time. But like,
I think so, yeah.
But like at least like a part 1 and a part 2 of like.
I think the first trade has come out. So if you
already.
Because they do it in 6 issues, like 6-issue trades.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean, we're on issue 8, so I think the first trade is out. So if you wanted to pick that up sooner, pre-order that, and then catch up from there, you definitely could.
Cool.
It's definitely worth it. It's great stuff.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It's cool. And look, like, not to rip that Band-Aid off, but like, obviously people are weird when it comes to the sequels. And I think stuff like this just aids to the fun of the sequels, that going back and watching them, you're like, oh, this, like, reading this stuff is like, oh man, I want to go back and watch those scenes. Like,
yeah, I was thinking about that today, especially in prep for this episode with both Shadow of the Sith and with Legacy of Vader. I'm like, dude, Force Awakens 10 years is literally in 3 months. Like, I'm stoked to, insane. I am stoked to like guys, please put it back in theaters. I want to rewatch Force Awakens in theaters. Like that's like top 3 theater experiences right there. Like without a shadow of a doubt. Oh my gosh.
I would say the lead up to it was so much fun, but being in the theater dressed as Han Solo, to spoiler alert, watch him get skewered like a as Hannah would say, a shrimp on the Barbie. It was
we need a Hannah like Australia mention at this point, because I'm not kidding. It's at least once an episode that you make an Australian joke,
dude.
An Australian, just Hannah.
It's only, dude, when she pops up, I'm like, the callbacks are there. All right, should we talk about Ahsoka?
Well, I think we should do one last thing. I
almost forgot.
We have not done. Yes. Go ahead.
Think Ferric.
It's time for Rake Ferric, everybody. Your favorite segment of Determined Focus, where we do have to get our clips ready to post on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. We're clip farming, baby, and it's time for Dank Ferric. Grayson, what exactly are we ranking, debating, and arguing about today?
Well, I figured in the vein of Vader, we should compile collaboratively, because I think this is going to get very interesting, the top 4 most iconic. It's the Mount Rushmore of Darth Vader moments.
This is Mount Rushmore, so it is 4.
4. It is okay. 4. Which, and for me personally, I'm going to tell you how I am viewing this, but I want to hear your takes first, because I believe you're going to sway me on some things. Okay. I'm viewing this as like Darth Vader. So, like, for example, as much as you and I love him throwing Palpatine over the edge and like him coming back, that's more Anakin than Vader in my eyes.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. So, because that's like at that point, like he's back to being Anakin. So
okay. All right. Well, let's go through.
I'm thinking like prime dark side, like Vader in his prime, like stuff like that. So that's where I'm thinking.
Here's the question then. Does stuff where it's pre the suit count? I
think we could allow one, but I think the rest have to be like in the suit. Because I that's my thoughts.
Okay. Do you have one that absolutely has to be on the list? Because I have one that absolutely is going to be on the list.
I'm teetering between 2. And I'm gonna lean more to my gut instinct, and I know I might get some flack for this, but I do think it is the greatest moment in Star Wars comics. And that is it is all I am surrounded by is fear and dead men.
Really cool. And I kind of figured you were going to bring that up. That was the first thing comics wise that I thought of.
That one's like my comic, like Dick. Like I personally, if that moment was live action, it would sweep the hallway scene. It would sweep the catching of the ship in Kenobi. Like that, I think is like just
think of that.
Yeah. I have a 4, but I'm not solid on my 4. Like for me,
dude,
I'm teetering between 2 different ones, like, but that I'm gonna say the comic moment for now.
Here are the 2 that I think should automatically be on the list, no matter what.
Okay.
Vader hallway scene in Rogue One.
Okay, that was on my list.
And I Am Your Father.
Yeah, dude. Of course. I actually don't have that on my list, but I'm like, duh. Yeah,
that's like 100. Those are the 2 that I think absolutely has to be on the list.
Okay, I'm putting I Am Your Father at number 1. That is the peak right there.
Yes.
You can't not have that,
Honorable mention. You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. That's my favorite Vader quote.
There's also you can't count the cave, but there's another Empire moment of like when he is just like egging Luke on. He's like, "But you are not a Jedi yet." It's just that. I mean, granted,
Vader quotes would be a completely different list.
Yeah. Oh,
would be a completely different.
Maybe we'll do that at some point. Okay, I'm Your Father, and then I'm cool with Rogue One hallway on there. Yeah. I think that was like kind of everyone as a fan was just like, like
another one that I think.
Do you know what I'd put over Rogue One hallway? Jedi Fallen Order.
that's kind of crazy, bro.
It's way more fleshed out in the plot.
I'm going back to this argument. This is the Mount Rushmore, the iconography.
I watch that scene like once a month.
Grayson, this is for the entire planet. If you were to ask them about Darth Vader,
but this is our Mount Rushmore.
They're going to say, oh, Darth Vader hallway scene, like obviously, like Rogue One's a great movie. They're going to say that. Okay, I would say honestly, when people think of Darth Vader, there are a lot of people who think of that. And thank you, because that was going to be one of the ones I was going to throw up for debate.
Yeah. I like
specifically aura farming, coming down on the tie, cape floating, no wind, like he's moving with his mind. Like that moment, I would say is, if it's not top 4, it is definitely in the top 10.
Okay, so here's my hot take. I would put, because Limitless Earth, he brought March of the Temple. That's not my out of the suit moment. My out of the suit moment is, man, I can't talk right now, is him taking out all the separatists and then crying over the volcano. That's, if I were going for an out of the suit moment, that's peak Vader for me, because that's like like you put him in the suit, it's just like that's Vader right there.
Do you? Yeah.
I'm not putting the younglings on there, bro. I'm sorry.
No. That's only iconography. That's not like that's a wild moment. I would think people also would consider that more Anakin than it is Vader at that moment. Like when you're thinking of that, like people are like, if you were like, oh, what's a really bad thing that Anakin Skywalker did? You'd be like, oh yeah, well, he killed a bunch of younglings. But like, I think when that happens, that's when he is like, that's Vader.
In the temple or in the
temple.
I mean,
that's the shift into Vader. Everything after that, he is a master of evil.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's put number 2, Rogue One Hallway, because that's
Rogue One Hallway is on there. I think, and this might be a debatable toss. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. Anakin Skywalker is gone. I am what remains.
That's a good, yeah. See, that's where it's hard for me, where I'm like, I wouldn't even have the moment out of the suit. I'd have the Ahsoka versus Vader, and then I'd have Obi-Wan, that moment from Kenobi in there.
Personally, I think that moment from Kenobi is over out of suit killing the Separatists.
I agree. I think it's also over out of the temple, or March on the Temple.
Correct.
So do you think, okay, so we agree, I am what remains, the like or the like you didn't kill Anakin moment. I think that's 3.
I think that's 3, and you are going to debate me on this. Much like the killing of the younglings and the march on the temple, Order 66, all of that, before he is sent to Mustafar. Because that's like his first, like, I'm proving myself to Palpatine. Now I am Vader, right? That's his drop into Vader.
Yeah.
I would say in the same vein that Anakin isn't necessarily Vader in that moment. He becomes Vader afterwards. In the same way, Vader is still Vader and then becomes Anakin Skywalker after he tosses Palpatine off of the railing. I think
he's Anakin as soon as he turns his head and he does that.
I think the toss is where he's like, that's the Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, like, so then that's
right. He tosses him down, the explosion, the Jedi has returned, and then you get the helmet taking off. I would never say the helmet being taken off is the Mount Rushmore Vader moment, but I do think that would be where it is, because I'm also like, what about him on the bridge talking to Luke, like, oh, you have completed your lightsaber? Like,
He's not Anakin at that point yet.
That's not Anakin. I think it's in the same vein as him tossing, because that Vader on the bridge when he is speaking, and that's like the final seeds of Luke being like, then my father is truly lost. Then my friend is truly lost, right? Talking about Padme, that I can't. Then him having the head turn, maybe I can, throws Palpatine off. Now Anakin is back.
I disagree on that part right there.
The only other one that I would say is from Revenge of the Sith, and that's when he wakes up on the table. And the suit is being put on.
That I would agree with that more just because of how iconic that is. That is Vader being made, you know?
It is
literally.
It is. That fourth spot is always the hardest spot.
What is our third? The Kenobi?
Yeah, Kenobi.
Okay.
Right?
Do we count it as do we call it what? I Am What Remains?
Yeah. Yeah.
I say the table. Some people are saying when he tries to go after Leia, but I don't know if that makes it top 4.
No, it doesn't make top 4, even though it is off. It is awesome.
Yeah, that's like a good honorable mention.
Sister. Yeah.
So, okay. Here's my thing is I think it's either him coming in on the TIE fighter in Kenobi. I mean, not Kenobi, in
Ahsoka, the
Rebels. In Rebels fighting Ahsoka. Jeez.
Yes.
Gets confusing around here. And then, or the table.
I would have to go table.
I think so as well. And by the way, I'm not like, if we were talking of like an Anakin Skywalker, like, because obviously we are not fools here. We know Anakin and Vader are the same person, but I'm talking more so.
People.
Retney, help, help. The table. I mean, like when you think of Revenge of the Sith, like every single time I watch that scene, I get chills.
Is she safe? Is she all right?
Dude, like the seal going on to like the helmet, and then it just like the
talking about Charles Soule Run. That's how that literally started.
Literally picks up right after that, where he bends down and he like locks in and he just starts choking everything
in your anger. But she has given you a gift. Yeah. Pain.
Dang.
You remember
that.
Oh
stuff. Yeah. I think we got to do the table. That's like the birth of Darth Vader right there. Like proper Darth Vader.
Okay, so the 4 Darth Vader Mount Rushmore moments, the 4 Darth Vader moments on the Vader moment Mount Rushmore are Rogue One hallway scene.
Well, yes, that is on there, but it was.
Okay, out of order. But if we're if we're ranking them, I Am Your Father, Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One hallway scene, Kenobi, I Am What Remains, and then on the table being put into the suit.
I call it the birth of Vader.
Yeah, help me.
I think that's the 4. I think that's the 4 like most iconic and crucial moments of Darth Vader right there.
Yeah.
Like as prime Vader. Let me start. I have to disagree. I like that moment. I think that's the kind of like.
I agree. I also like that moment.
And also, again, gotta recommend reading the Soul Run. We just talked about it. Literally, he screams, no, and then right after that, he starts muttering no to himself like that, and then that's when he goes no, and then so no. It's actually that's pretty good posing right there. Right. So for me, when I always think of that, of like he screams out, and of course, like what's told right after this is not important to the movie, but the fact that he like immediately he lets out that scream, then he immediately just gets pissed off. I'm like, Vader. That's Vader right there, baby.
Dude, the back of this cup is pretty cool. Once
Is
a
it?
Jedi Knight, Anakin Skywalker was tempted to the dark side of the Force. Vader became commander of the Imperial fleet and was known as the Dark Lord of the Sith. After many battles with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, and the realization that Luke was his son, Vader destroyed the Emperor and saved Luke at the cost of his own life and finally returned to the light side. Now, it does say on this cup, Vader destroyed the Emperor and saved Luke.
That's what the tabloids say.
I mean, this cup is as old as I am. And
But
this
also-
cup was
but-
written by George Lucas.
But what? Okay, I'm gonna pull a. Hold on. Get ready. Get ready.
This cup
What-
has nothing to do with George Lucas.
I'm gonna get ready here. As Sam Witwer says. Give me 1 second, because
This is so geeky.
I don't know.
What?
He says, what would Luke Skywalker do? Or in this context, what would Luke Skywalker say? And if I were to interview Luke Skywalker and say, hey, who saved you from Palpatine? Would he say Darth Vader? He probably would go, my father, Anakin Skywalker. Bazinga!
Yeah, but I would say all of these moments he would refer to as his father.
Because he's the GOAT.
Well, correct.
And you don't love him like I do. I'm just kidding.
There's one. There's one. There's one. We're talking about him.
I'm surprised we don't wear our jacket, our like Jedi jackets together, because my Jedi jacket on the back also has the Imperial and Rebel symbol on it.
Really?
Yeah. And has the Luke saber on the back. So we got a twin sometime.
It has the Imperial logo on it?
Weirdly enough, it does. Yeah.
That's weird. All right. Should we talk about Ahsoka?
I would be happy to.
This will be a quick one because I really don't have much to talk about with this episode, but
I have a few little things, but not
we
much.
have some stuff. We have some stuff. It's a fun episode. Oh, he's gone.
I'm just getting something. Don't worry about it. Guys, this is the I got the cloak. It's okay. I've got the Lucasfilm sweatshirt on. Don't worry. eBay is a hell of a place, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, wait, hold on. To quote Will at his Force Unleashed panel, eBay is a magical place, Mr. Whitworth.
For Star Wars fans, but you got
For
it.
Star Wars fans. Will, I have to bring something up. I have to bring a prop up. Because this is I'm gonna call this the Will episode from now on. Because this is the T6 episode.
Yeah, dude.
That is what I designated it.
Correct.
And so I just couldn't go without presenting this. This is yours. This will be being shipped to you because Walmart had it on sale, and I have nowhere to put this. So here you go. Look at the reflection of us as we look warped. Yeah, P6 for you. There you go.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Why'd you do that? That's nice.
Because
You do that, but that's very nice.
because I love you, and you're gonna say General Kenobi again or something, and it's fine.
What?
But whatever.
Mila Kunis.
But yes, the T6 is in full force in this episode. Goated ship, by the way. We're gonna just keep saying it.
Top 5 ship in all of Star Wars. Thank you very
The
much.
details on this are really sick, dude.
Thank you for getting that for me. That you did not need to do that, and I have been dragging my feet waiting. I don't know why your Walmart always has clearance stuff for that, but at my Walmart, it's always like, "Hey, it's a $900." I'm exaggerating. It's always full price.
This one was $20. It was the last one they had, and I was like, "Well, I know what I'm doing." I like to send Will care packages. You know how it be. Okay, so Ahsoka episode 3. Frick, I forgot the name of the title of it, but that's okay.
Time to Fly.
Yes. Well, that's perfect for what we're saying. I honestly, this episode's shorter, but I do love this episode.
Yeah.
It's got a good balance of action. It's got a good balance of heart. I love the train. It feels every slice of life in the sense that like you are getting time with these characters, just getting to exist in a space that's not being driven by action for like the first half of the episode. You get a little bit with Hera and stuff like that, but like the moments where the episode shines is with Sabine and Ahsoka and Huang on the T6. I love the parallels to Obi-Wan training Luke on the Falcon. I love the kind of like Jedi lingo that they're using of like the like Gaiki, Kire, like all of this stuff, and he's like
so
doing
cool.
It's they're using the Boken, and, dude. Again, like the soundtrack is phenomenal. Just again, it just is so Kurosawa meets Star Wars. And yeah, I just like this episode. I don't know, just feels kind of. It's before we get into like the meat of everything with the rest of the season. It's very much like a warm hug to me.
It's fun. It's the first 2 episodes. It tells you what's happened. This is like drops you into the present for what's going on.
It's like we're going. We are on the way. The training is commenced,
and we get more of like how what is happening is affecting the galaxy at large. Especially with like shout out to the Queen Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma in the holograms talking to Hera.
So we're gonna get more of her in some future episodes. I believe episode 5 we do, and maybe even 6. I had talked to some friends when the show was coming out. People were like they didn't like Mon Mothma's characterization because of Andor, and like the fact that she's like, and I'm like I don't know if I agree with that. It feels very congruent because like the big discrepancy that I had heard is that like, well, Mon Mothma is like, you know, she's a rebel in Andor, but like I think the big thing with Mon Mothma is like she is trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Like she's a rebel leader, but like she is now at this point the chancellor. She has strictures that she has to uphold. And to be fair, with what Hera is like, yeah, I think obviously Mon Mothma sympathizes with Hera, like, but like she also has to understand that like the New Republic is still very much up and running.
The New Republic is up and running,
it's still coming about, you know.
And also like this is at a point where everything that she has worked for since Andor all the way to now, they've won. So she got like this is her celebration party. Like she has worked her tail off. Think of the celebration you would do after going through the events that Mon Mothma went through, leaving the Senate in Andor, having to break out like that, seeing people die in front of her. She's learning new information. All of that is her world is literally split in half and crumbles in front of her, all because of the decisions that she has made. And then finally, at the time of Ahsoka, she gets to live in that party of, okay, the decisions I made not only were for the right reasons, but they paid off. So, of course, she's going to be a little bit, I feel like through this, she is a little bit on the happier side. She is a post-war president. She's not a wartime president. She's a post-war president.
Exactly. And you can still, like, she definitely cares about what Hera is saying, but she also has to understand the doing what's best for the people. And like Xiono says, like, as much as Xiono is an ass, like, he does make a good point of being like, people don't want to get involved in another war, you know? And I'm like, that's valid, you know, like because right now it's just Hera chasing leads. They're like, they have not seen Thrawn in, 8 years. And it's like it seems a little too good to be true, but I do love when Hera schools him and is like, were you in the war, Senator? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, just waited around to see who came out on top. I'm like, I stood up and clapped.
Yo! Xiono himself, the actor
in real life
at Rebel Scum, could not be a nicer guy.
Dude, he eats as many eggs as I do, so shout out you, Nelson Lee, I believe is his name. He was like staying at our hotel at Rebel Scum, and we would just like bump into him when getting breakfast and everything, and he's a great guy. But it's always the nicest people who play just the biggest jerks, you know.
Do you have a favorite moment from this episode?
I took some quotes. Okay. I'm gonna cheat a little here, and I'm gonna say there's 2. I have 4 quotes here, but the first one that I have to mention is Jason's first appearance.
I knew that was coming.
Yep, you knew it was gonna happen. Literally, as soon as he's like, Aunt Sabine is trained to be a Jedi. Like, I want to be a Jedi, and Hera, like the emotion that like from Hera's voice where she's just like, I know you do, Jason. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I have goosebumps right now. Like, it's crazy. Like, I get flashbacked or flashbanged by just that moment, of like, that's, I guarantee that is all what Hera sees in that moment is, if I let my son go down this path, will the same thing happen to Kanan? And I'm sure she's not like regrets what Kanan did. I think she knew what he had to do was necessary and was the way of the Jedi. But of course, she's a mother. She doesn't want that for her son, So I need Ezra to train Jason so bad. I need it so bad, dude.
Yeah, no, it'll be so good. Season 2, baby.
Yeah, season 2. So that's my little personal moment. I've got some other quotes, but I'll bring those up later. Actually, what is your favorite moment?
I think my favorite moment, and it might be cheesy, but truly, Ahsoka in the Star Wars spacesuit outside of the ship is so cool, dude. I love that suit.
It's quintessential Star Wars action. It's so fun. What was funny is we have to prep this button, dude. It's just got to happen. RPG books right there.
Oh, okay.
There's like artwork of some Jedi like in spacesuits like fighting with lightsabers, like in just like that, and it looks sick. Just like from Ahsoka. Like there's even one that's like a Togruta, and I'm like, bro,
whoa,
like that's crazy. So whenever
done after,
it was done before.
Really?
The artwork in there. I'll see if I can find it at some point, but
cool.
It's so fun. I love that they're like, oh, our ship is down, and Ahsoka's like, all right, I'll just go out there as they're doing strafing runs. Like, and I also love that it's like she gets one of the ships, but then she's just kind of like floating around. She's like, hey, you fixed the ship yet? Yeah. Like, and then the creative use of the T6 like axis thing where it kind of comes closer to her, and she runs, hangs from the lip, and goes right into the access port, bro. It's sick. Awesome. It is awesome. I actually love, like, I don't know why they didn't do a figure of her in that suit. I would kind of get that figure. Like,
that's
just give her.
Good point.
Yeah, like the fact that it's also blue and white and like matches her montrals is really cool.
And it's kind of like the same colors as the New Republic pilots.
Yep, exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
it's very cool. So that is a great moment. I also love, of course, Ahsoka teaching Sabine. But one of my favorite moments which is what people forget, is obviously there's this big dynamic of Huyang. He's under the protocols of the Jedi, right? That's what he's used to. There's protocols, there's safety procedures for all of this. But Ahsoka is talking to Huyang, and he's like, oh, I remind you, she's like the worst candidate ever for being a Jedi, which is like that meme that you posted last week, where it was just like, basically like a Sabine sucks. But she's like, I don't need
not
Sabine.
Not that Sabine sucks as a character and should not be a Jedi.
No,
it's that she is literally like, if Jedi are based in the Force of like how open their door is, her door might have a padlock on it.
It is the crack under the door. Like that, like maybe a bug can get through.
Yeah.
But no, it's Huyang's perspective. He's like, need I remind you? Like she does not have it, bro. And like, dude. And of course we get almost the parallel to the Charles Soule, Rise of Kylo Ren comic where Ahsoka is talking about talent being a factor, yes, but also like it's not the entirety of the thing right there.
No. And your focus determines your reality.
Which I'm gonna quote a line here. She says, "Training and focus are what defines one's success."
Woo!
Bam. And also, I believe this is later on. She goes up to speak with Huyang. She says to him, like, I don't need Sabine to be a Jedi. I just need her to be herself. And I'm like,
yep.
Which is kind of crazy because that's almost the lesson that Anakin is teaching her later on of like, you know, like, I don't need you to be all this. Like you are you. Like, and that's what
this show is so well written, and I will not stand for the people who say it is not a well written series.
Dude,
every line means so much, not only for what is happening in the scene, but the past of the people and the characters, and then what they have to look forward to. Everything is so absolutely peak, in the words of our friend Luke, Peakerton.
Absolute Peakerton. The last thing I have to say is another line when she's talking to Sabine when she's training, and it's after she kind of like knocks her on the floor when she's doing the blindfold, the mask on.
Right.
This is a very quick line, but it kind of corroborates like this big debate. She says, anger and frustration are quick to give power, but they also unbalance you. And that people are always like, oh, is the dark side imbalance? Does that mean equal light, equal dark? No, it is. There is no darkness. It is because that is what unbalances you. And that is, I believe, the vision that George Lucas has always had, because that's what he's always said in articles, right? That
the light side is balance and the
light
dark
side
side is unbalance.
Exactly. So it's not the teetering of the light and the dark. It is pushing away the dark. That is why Kanan is the GOAT. Because he doesn't allow darkness to dictate his actions. He lets full light side, compassion, and trust in the Force to dictate his actions. And that's why he's one of the greatest Jedi of all time.
There's about 100,000 comments on that video of that guy saying that from.
And he's right. And I think it's Otaku Jedi is his username. Yeah. He cooked. I still think he cooked. We get comments to this day about people being like, "This, what is this guy talking about?" There was one comment left by a dude yesterday, and he was like, "Guys, I don't think he's talking about power scaling. I think he's talking about what it means to be a good Jedi."
Duh.
And I'm like, I just commented back, and I was like, "Hey, man, thanks for saying this.
Yeah,
I'm glad you understand that he's not just like, who's the strongest Jedi? Like, that's a different. But even then, like." My hot take is that if Kanan continued his training and going past it, he probably would have been one of the most powerful Jedi. Like, because he would have continued to stay in that balance. That's why, like, when you have Yoda, who's 900 years old, and he's been in balance and learned the ways of the Force for literally like 9/10 of his life, you're gonna get really good at it. You know? Yeah, and the what is it? I always say with like the best characterization, like to reach the highest heights, you have to go to the deepest depths, you know? And characters like Obi-Wan and like Kanan and even Ahsoka, like those are the characters that like they went through immense amounts of hardship and difficulty, and they became some of the most balanced Jedi because of it. Yeah. This episode's great.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. I do think next week is next week's a good episode.
It's that is like when I think of Ahsoka, it's like that's like the meat and potatoes for me. I love episode 5, and I'm excited to get to that and talk about it. I mean, it's been talked about a lot. Obviously, that's usually people's favorite episode, but I think for you and I, next week is like our favorite. Like, this feels like the cast of Ahsoka being like just getting to blossom. Baylan, Shin, Marok, Morgan, Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera, Huyang, all of them. Like, they're all just like bam, front and center. I remember like the end of, we'll talk about it next week. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but I remember being very excited for this episode, and when it happened, I remember being like, this episode 3, was the day after I had gone on the Star Cruiser. So I got to go on the Star Cruiser, and then I started getting sick that week because every time I travel I get sick, and I just was like curled up in my bed, and I just was like had my phone just like 2 inches from my face as I'm watching Ahsoka, and I'm like, man, I love this show.
So good.
Yeah, it's great.
I love this show. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's fun. I can't wait for next week's episode because I think that's going to be the bulk of what we talk about, considering it's literally our favorite episode, both of our favorite episodes of the series. So, other than that, we got anything else before we wrap up here?
I think the only thing should be to note is that we probably will not be here on Monday next week. We will be back on Tuesday because I'll be out of town. So just that is a PSA. Yeah, because I don't get back till like 9:00 on Monday from Legacy Expo. But we'll be back on Tuesday. Hey, go pre-order Master of Evil.
Correct.
Go support your local bookstores. Whatever that entails. Let's let this book succeed, because I think it's going to be an absolute banger. And hey, go get merch if you want to.
There's merch in the store, baby. There's merch in the store. You can go get merch in the store.
Merch. And if you would like to join our other wonderful members, I believe we are at 4 currently. And the list is we have 4 currently, with 1 million more on the way. Well, we'll start with 10
That's
more. We'll
awesome.
start with So join Focus Base today.
Oh, man, we gotta get that done.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else. We'll see you on not Monday, but Tuesday next week. So we'll see you then.
Determine focus going up on a Tuesday, and your focus determines your reality.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
It does. Bye. Bye-bye.
Always remember.